Hi everybody, welcome to the Meta Report. It is week 2 of the Road to Nationals and we've got the rundown on all the results from UK and Sweden this week. But first of all, I have a very special guest. It is Scott Mines. Hi Scott, how's it going?
I think you're the special one, truth be told. I'm just a guest in all but nature. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm busy, I'm afraid, mate. Busy. Lots of card games to be played, and sadly, not actually very many events to be played for myself because of how busy I've been with everything else. But yeah, not so bad. Thanks for asking.
You've also been dogged by the dreaded public transport of the UK and got stranded. So...
Don't get me started, mate. It's, you've got a weekend off to play some RTNs? Oh, let me make sure I can. Oh, I can't actually get to any of them. Great. All right, fantastic. So yeah, no events for me so far. I've got one. I get to play one RTN this season at the end of the season, and I need to not suck ideally.
Okay, let's pray that the trains and buses don't prevent you from getting there.
Now, why would you say a thing like that?
Okay, so let's give a little shout out to my partners, my sponsors. It's Thistle Tavern, which is a single card seller for Flesh and Blood. It does other card games as well. But if you join the Patreon, you get 10% off at Thistle Tavern. And also, by the same token, that if you watch my gameplay videos, you can see all the Flesh and Blood tokens that they do adorning the table. So they're fantastic, made by Ed Cardle. Also, Shahmir Samee has joined the Patreon crew, and he is giving you 10% discount for his coaching skills.
He's really good too. So if you wanna get better at Fab, put me to shame, then give Shahmir a buzz. He knows all my weaknesses. So.
Yeah, he's also your co-commentator. So
that's why he knows my weaknesses. I don't keep anything from Shahmir. He'll tell you how to beat me fair and square, and also unfairly if you really want to cheat. So.
Nice. Right, okay, let's get on with the winning heroes from last week. So this is what was published by LSS. 17 different heroes. I did kind of make a boo-boo when I did the meta report. I said that sort of like Kano won 17 times. He didn't. He won 12 times, but 12 is enough. But yeah, a fantastic win rate for Kano. Leaping out into the lead on week 1, followed by Dash and KO. KO, they said, was going to be, sort of like the most popular hero, the most prolific hero for winning. But, yeah, he didn't do it last week.
Not quite.
Yeah, well, we shall see sort of like his winning percentages later for the games that I'm covering. Okay. Any surprises there? Vincent, for me, is really a standout for winning an RTN.
Yeah, I got a soft spot for Vincent. I've kind of been working on the deck a little bit myself, and I do think, kind of looking at the decks that are doing well here, top of the room, that's a bit of a surprising turnout, to be honest. I wouldn't like Dromai's pretty good, but like the rest of these are not great for you. So fair play to the individual taking home an RTN with Vincent. Little surprised to see not quite as much Prism as I thought, but the deck is very, very hard to play. It makes a lot of sense that people are taking a bit of time to get to grips with it and kind of get that win under their belt. I'm sure there's been more top 4s, top 8s. Otherwise, this looks a lot like what I expected, to be honest. It's a very wide open meta game. I kind of self-admittedly thought Kano was in a very, very good spot going into last week, and evidently people left their arcane barrier at home, and that's the best time to be playing Kano. And I look forward to kind of seeing whether or not that trend continues and we have a real metagame powerhouse on our hands, or if people start shoving all the arcane barrier back in and Kano goes back in the box.
Yeah, but the thing is, people were warned after Battle Hardened Hartford that he was here. They didn't heed the warnings, and like usual, week 1 he comes out, gets loads of wins. But yeah, it would be interesting to see. He's still doing really well in the UK, so yeah, we'll see how some of the events pan out.
Yeah, we have some good Kanos over here.
Indeed. Righty, so let's go to Sweden first. We're in Alpha Spiel in Stockholm. 23 players. They love their Guardians over there, sort of like Erica was saying about sort of like a Guardian sort of like Discord or talk group just to go through all the possibilities, and there's a Dory one as well. But 4 KOs leading the pack here.
Yeah. This is a very cool metagame. This is kind of what you want to see at an event of this size, right? 23 players, very respectable, but not huge. So you're hoping to still see some diversity. But this is great. This is like, people. You can see the specialists kind of playing their stuff at the bottom, and then still enough of the kind of main meta contenders you would expect to have your knowledge of the metagame paid off, which is great.
And we shall see one of those specialists right now as we go into the top 4.
Ooh,
okay, so I am going to apologise for my pronunciations because I'm still learning. So we've got Erica Fushlev on Bravo. She did very well in the Battle Hardened in Liverpool on Bravo, making it into the top 8, and she's proven again how formidable she is with Bravo. Italio Molina on Viscerai. So we were talking about specialists. Here we go. And Ricard, sorry.
I love to see that. Been a long time since we've had Big Purple, as I lovingly call him, making some top tables. So very, very happy to see some Viscerai success.
I bet Hamish is tickling his whistle now because he's
tickling something all right.
Ricard Wallstrom on Bolton and Peter Brass on Dory. Right, so let's see how the final, who made it into the final. So we've got Erica versus Ricard. You can watch the entire event on Fab Sweden, which was absolutely fantastic. I sat there and watched the final. It was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Really, really close. Erica, she played really well. And so did Ricard. Who do you think won?
Spoiler, unfortunately, I do know this one, as unsurprisingly, I follow Erica on Twitter, so I've already given her my congratulations and well wishes for taking this down, to which she lovingly responded that she was carried by Bravo. Now, I don't believe that, and I'll get that on camera. Erica's very, very good, but it turns out Bravo might be all right as well.
Indeed. Okay, so no surprises. Erica Fushlev won on Bravo. We have her pack opening. So that was on the YouTube channel as well. So we've cut that little bit out so you can see it. He says, there we go.
Oh, gold foil. I do love a good gold foil envelope. They're therapeutic in a weird way. The squeal says it all there, I think. Squeal says it all.
A vexing quill hand is what was pulled.
Yeah. Erica, a known Runeblade lover as well. So no doubt we'll also be happy about the Viscerai success, but that's a smashing gold foil for them to open, because not only is it one of the kind of higher end hits, so the Majestics from the card pool here are definitely the ones you're aiming for when you crack these envelopes, but that's a very on-theme one for her in particular, so congratulations again.
I haven't actually seen many Vexings or heard of many Vexings being opened, so I wouldn't have thought there'd be, like a rarity involved in the gold foils, but I've never seen one opened.
Yeah, certainly the Majestics are more heavy hitters, but for every Vexing Quillhand and Courage of Bladehold, there's also a Hexagore, the Death Hydra. So you got to cross your fingers that you still hit one of the good ones, which is what we got here.
Saying that, I recorded a game with Hexagore at Dice Cup, so that'll be coming soon. So that was quite cool. Right, okay, so let's stay in Sweden. Playo Teket in Lund. So we're kind of going right to the south of the country. And this is 13 players in Lund. Sort of like, I mean, you could say specialists again. Max Nitro's there, but sort of like we're starting to see familiar heroes. KOs, Bravos, Dories, Kanos, Levias. Everyone that they were saying were going to be big into this meta.
Yeah, that may be the only surprise here. It's hard to have too much of a surprise for an event of this size, but to Azuri, if you told me that Azuri was going to be tied for the most played deck in the room, I probably wouldn't have believed you. It's definitely one on a bit of a downswing right now, but all in all, this metagame breakdown, not massively surprising.
So let's get on to the top 4. So top 4, Hampus Christensen on Victor, High and Mighty, Mads Yolby Larson on Bravo, Magnus Vendel on Dromai, and Daniel Phil on Kano. So we saw Magnus Vendel, he top 4'd the Mind Stage in Gothenburg last week, and he's made it into the top 4 this week. So a very consistent player. But
love to see it.
Yeah, yeah. Consistency is what everybody wants for sure.
I mean, the goal is always to play well. The results come because you play well. You don't want to just win. That's never the goal. So fair play to a player like Magnus, who's clearly putting in the work and getting the results as a result.
Okay, so final time. Victor versus Dromai. It's a matchup that we're all familiar with.
I love this. See, Victor, maybe not so much. Maybe it's not quite as bad as Bravo, but this is what we call the famous 90-90 matchup, where depending on who you ask, you've got a 90% chance of winning, and both sides think they do. It might not be quite that stoic with Victor, but it's definitely one that's up for debate. If I had to guess, I feel like Dromai players are going to have more experience having a plan into a Guardian at this point than Victor players are going to have into Dromai. They've just had more time to kind of refine what they're supposed to be doing. So I'm going to go with Magnus and see if we're right.
Okay. You are not.
Damn. 1 for 1.
Victor is.
I knew the other one.
Yeah, Victor is high and mighty. It seems that sort of like Sweden love Guardians. It's just like, oh my god, they picked up 3 Guardian wins now. Well done, Hampus. Well done to Magnus as well. We've done one better than last week, so fantastic. We have this is the judge pack.
Oh, okay.
So he's already opened it. He hasn't looked at it though.
Vilken var du ville ha? Telemaningslänk? Nej.
Nej, det här är ju
We're on Judge Pack 4 at the moment, so there's plenty of goodies to be hitting out of this one as
Ja, men den
well.
får man i nästa pack.
Let's take a peek.
Ja.
Yeah, I mean, there's not quite the same screaming on that one as we heard on the Vexing Quill Hand, is there? There's a in the background. Proclamation, not exactly the biggest haymaker, but still a pretty card.
It is a pretty card. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to have a cold foil card for sure. You know, everybody likes a bit of bling, but you're not really going to see it played very often.
I'll accept the gift. That's fine by me.
Put it in a frame and put it on your wall. Okay, but this is the gold foil.
Okay.
What did Victor open?
It's got to be an arcane lantern. We can see one on the table. Only fair to replace it with a gold foil immediately. Come on.
Hade ni även grade också?
Är det 9 plus 3?
Palm cross strap. That's not bad. Palm cross strap is definitely on the more playable side of commons. It's a shame it's banned in Blitz, of course, but since play all over the shops, it's not bad. It's pretty good.
Yeah, but Hampus is very happy. Well done, Hampus. Okay. Right, so off to Dragon's Lair. This is a draft event, so we're back in Stockholm. So they did a sort of like a double header, CC event on the Saturday, and then this is the draft event that was on the Sunday. You can also see it on Fab Sweden. So if you haven't watched it, you can go back and see it. So this is the top 4. 16 players in total took part. I didn't get the breakdown of the top 8 draft, okay, but we got Stefan Karlsson on Kasai, Jakob Trossing on Victor, Nicholas Asner on KO, and Conrad Neva on KO. Okay,
yeah,
so
this is an interesting one. It's going to be kind of hard to have my best guess without knowing exactly how many KOs and Kasais are in this pod, but we'll take a crack at it.
We're probably looking at one Guardian again.
Maybe.
That's the way things.
All the best pods have one Guardian.
Okay, so the final: Stefan Karlsson on Kasai versus Jakob Trossing on Victor.
Okay, that doesn't surprise me. That feels like this pod was probably like a 3 or 4 brute pod then, with 2 of them making it through to the top 4. This is impossible to know without more context. I think if it's a 1 Kasai in the pod, they're probably in Christmas land. But I'm going to take a guess that because the Victor is 2-0 to get to this point, that they are the only Guardian in this pod. Also, we know there's a Guardian bias in this particular situation, so I've got to go with Jacob on Victor.
Okay. There we go.
2-1.
It's not bad, is it? But it's like, again, 4 events, 4 Guardian wins in Sweden. It's just like, blimey. Okay. And we got Aria up there, have we? It's just like, holy moly.
Yeah. If you transpose the world map of Wraith onto the actual world map, Sweden falls somewhere around Aria. So it's a known fact.
Nice. Okay. That's why there's so many Guardians. Right.
Exactly.
This is the gold foil.
Take a peek.
People are remembering now how to open them.
Ooh. Death Dealer's a good hit. Okay. That's not bad at all.
So, not bad. He would have loved it if it was another Guardian card for sure. But let's go on to the meta map because we now know all the results from Sweden. Mindstage Gothenburg. It is basically just a Guardian fest.
Look at that.
It's awesome. It's brilliant. Nobody's getting a look in. It's been a total lockdown by the Guardian players. This is everybody who's qualified for your nationals. It's been confirmed confirmed as the 5th to the 7th of July. You can check out sort of like Fab TCG, to see the other dates if they've been released. But this is everyone who's qualified so far. Congratulations to you all. Well done.
Big specific congratulations to Magnus for being the only person with a 2 next to you on that list after 2 weeks, which is impressive stuff. But congratulations to everybody all around. Well done.
Yeah, nice one. Brilliant. Right, okay, so let's the rest of them, we're going to the UK now. The Irish draft that was on a Gamers World, it got changed to next week. So we'll see more of the Irish next week, okay? Right, so Dark Sphere London, get a very good turnout in London for all events. So draft is no exception. 28 players, and this is the top 8.
Now, this is an interesting pod because this is the kind of pod where I think I favour the KOs without any other knowledge about what happened in the pool. 4 Kasai is a lot. I get the feeling that 1.5 of them are going to be happy with their deck. The other 2 are probably a bit upset. Both the Guardians probably stand to be in pretty good shape. I imagine the Victor has probably found one of the specializations to make them not be Betsy. But I am always very happy to be a brute in the 2 brute pods. So if it were me, that's where I'd want to be seeing.
Absolutely. Whether or not they've got the double class cards, because there's so many warriors.
Yeah, very possible, of course. Yeah.
Right, so let's see the breakdown. Let's see the top 4. Okay, Jason Rolfe on Kasai. He won a skirmish 6, skirmish 7, and he's top of the UK leaderboard in 90-day XP. And I don't think anybody's ever going to knock him off. Thomas Hull, Thomas Hull is on Betsy. He's the UK Nats runner-up from 2022. When I spoke to him at Liverpool about heavy hitters, he really liked it because no matter which class you picked, it was literally Guardian style damage.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of having Tom sitting next to me for most of the event, actually. We were on similar records most of the way up and had a pleasant chat about how much he was enjoying the format during the day as well.
He's just come back. He came back at the end of last year after having a little baby. Well, then we've got Daniel Vandenberg. So he played really well, got into the top 4. We don't normally see Daniel make it into the top 4s, but we do see him at the cosplay competitions where he makes some absolutely fantastic outfits. A nice one, Dan.
The remarkable Finn Dan, putting the rest of us to shame, making us all look like normal human beings. Which I love you, Dan, but you're making me look bad.
This does a bloody good job. And then Alex Chitu, our current UK national champion and ProQuest.
Yeah, he's not bad either.
Yeah, it's no slouch. It's Kitsu.
No, it's weird. I think it was Jason, actually. Jason Rolfe was put out a tweet about his RTN that he'd played and showed that the players who had attended where they were on the UK leaderboard. And it's like, yeah, it's only just over 20 players, but I've got 15 of them from the top 30 in the UK at this RTN. It's a real murderer's row of players down at Darksphere.
Yeah, I mean, most RTNs now, like you look, there is a competitive group. No matter which store you go to, you're going to be facing some fantastic players now. Right, okay, let's see how it pans out. Who made it into the final? Okay, the brutes are all gone. It is Jason Rolfe on Kasai versus Thomas Hull on Betsy.
Interesting. So I don't actually know who won this event, which is cool. I'm a little surprised to see both of the brutes taking a nudge. But I think if I'm taking a fair guess, both these players are incredible. There was 4 Kasais and 1 Betsy in this pod. I think I'd have to just put my money on Tom to take it home.
Did Tom take it home? He did take it home. Congratulations, Tom. Well done.
Well done.
Nice. You're doing really well, mate. 3 out of 1. 3-1.
3. I'll take 3 for 1. That's all right.
Should we see his gold foil? Here we go.
Yeah, go on, Tom. What did you open? It's probably a Guardian card again.
He would hope. He would love if he opened a Guardian card.
He would, wouldn't he? It's very much Tom's brand.
Fourth unit.
That is not a Guardian card. That is possibly the most valuable drinks coaster I've seen in a while. That one's not high on the list.
That's 2 that have been opened.
Not a favourite.
Yeah, that's 2 that's been opened in the UK. 1 at EH Gaming and 1 now in Darksphere. Okay, so let's go to Geek Retreat in Bristol. This is another draft event. 22 players, so pretty good. This is a top 8 draft. So it's so different. 3 Brute, 2 Betsy, 2 Kasai, and 1 Olympia.
Yeah, 3-3-2 split. This makes a lot of sense. This is kind of the ideal situation just, for the pod in general. Everyone's decks are going to be where they want to be. I love seeing an Olympia turning up. I think more and more people are kind of figuring out how to draft him correctly, what he's looking for to do things differently than Kasai. So kind of seeing him get on the scoreboard is reassuring, and I'm genuinely very happy to see it.
Maybe he picked up a what is it? A Gallia. Prize Gallia or an up the ante.
Yeah, prize Galea or up the ante. They're both very, very good. But I do think there are reasons to be Olympia with not very many, but there are some.
Right, nice. Right, let's see who made it into the top 4. Okay, so we've got Samee Braben on Kasai, calling Birmingham champion, ProQuest 3 winner, RTN 2024 at Bad Moon last week. Emlyn Ingram on Betsy, he won a skirmish season 7. Francesco Giorgio. We're allowed to talk about Francesco now. So, calling Liverpool, multiple top 8 Battle Harden events, and he won the Battle Harden in Leeds. He came runner-up in a team competition as well in Madrid. So, Francesco is a fantastic player. And Jacob Clements, RTN 2023, Skirmish 7, and a ProQuest 4. And he is on Olympia.
I mean, we were just talking about a Murderer's Row, that previous RTN, and we got another one here. This is just two calling winners. What? What are you? You know, it's a very high pedigree of player at this point, and I mean, if you're looking for practice for a Pro Tour, there's not many better ways of doing it.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Right, okay, so let's see who's in the final. Jacob Clements on Olympia versus Samee Braben on Kasai.
This is interesting. I've had the pleasure of playing against both these players a number of times. If the competition was which one was more talkative during the game, it wouldn't be close. But that's not what matters here. This is a game of flesh and blood. And, 3 warrior pod, there's a pretty good reason to go Olympia. I have to think that's why Jacob's gone that way. But I think in the matchup head to head, I would rather be the Kasai. So I'm going to go with Samee here.
Samee. It was Samee, mate. Your streak continues. 4-1. Well done. Well done, Samee.
Yeah, we started poorly, but we're pulling it back.
Yeah. That's 2 RTN wins now for Samee. I think last UK Nationals, Samee would be the first one to say sort of like his drafting skills were poor. And it really did show, and he had to clamber his way in and made it, he clawed his way into the top 8 in UK Nationals. So he's been sort of like sitting on Draftmancer and just sort of like plugging away and getting games, and it's really showing. So
putting the work in, and that's worth a lot. So yeah, congratulations to you, Samee. Keep up the good work.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're doing a better job at finding a CC hero since we lost Icelander than I am, because I know you were very much an Icelander aficionado too.
He's gone to Kano, so he's not gone far from the tree.
Yeah, of course.
Right, should we see his gold foil?
Why not? Let's take a peek.
I mean, yes.
Congratulations, Mr.
We've got the gold foil on camera already, and the envelope's not even open.
Off camera.
Don't even on camera yet.
The thing is, what I'm actually wanting to do right now is
slow rolling and everything. Samee, come on.
I'm very
it's not a dinner. You're not having a chat over drinks. Show me what's inside the envelope. Come on.
The problem is he's sitting across from Jacob, so he just gets very
Oh
chatty.
yeah, I should have thought. Yeah. Hey, there's that arcane lantern. We found one somewhere.
There we go. There was a few people saying arcane lantern should be the Marvel one, not the regular. And you just like,
it would be nice.
That wouldn't be a bad shout, actually. A gold foil Marvel lantern would be pretty.
There's some real amazing reverse poetry going on, letting the wizard main open arcane lantern. But sure, I guess you can't pick and choose.
Indeed. Right, okay, Mana League time. We're still in draft. We've gone to Mana League in Birmingham, so we're sort of like in the heart of the UK. Only 17 players here. This is the top 8 draft. 4 Kasai, 3 KOs and 1 Betsy. So we've got the 4, 3 and 1, which is kind of like the normal is what we're seeing.
Yeah, this is definitely what we're seeing more than we were before. Beforehand, it was kind of like the 4 brute, 3 warrior situation. I think the dynamic has definitely shifted since we've had a few more limited events. People prefer to be in Kasai given the choice. I wouldn't be massively happy to be 7 people at this draft table. I think you're only really going to be happy with your deck if you are the one Betsy, but we'll see if that carries them over the finish line.
Shall we see? Okay, so this is the top 4. Samee Braben's on Kasai. We all know what he's done. He's won the call in Birmingham, ProQuest 3, 2 RTN now in 2024. Oscar Rachichi, he is on Betsy and he won a ProQuest 4. And I've heard that he's moving to Taipei. Yeah, safe travels, fella. Hopefully you'll come
absolutely.
back for the UK Nationals. Tim Coates on Kasai and Daniel Baxendale on KO. So that is where we are. Okay, so the Betsy made it, so the Betsy's doing all right. Let's see who made it into the final, though. It is Kasai versus Betsy.
Now, this is tough because you already told me just now that Sammy's won 2 RTNs.
Yeah,
which I don't know whether or not he won one last week or whether or not.
Yeah, he did. He won Bad Moon. He won Bad Moon on Kano.
Of course. All right, yeah, sure. So I was like, maybe you've let it slip to me that he won this one as well. But I think if I'm being completely fair to myself, Sammy's obviously an incredible player. But when I look at the draft pod breakdown here and there's one Betsy, I've got to put my money on Betsy.
Okay, righty. He's a triple winner, mate.
You got me.
Indeed. We'll be interested to see if Samee can draft something else apart from Kasai. Because
there's a few people I've been having that word with recently. There's a few people out there that, I'm really good at heavy hitters draft, and I've not seen them play anything that isn't a warrior. And that might be right, but still, you're good at, I'm going to be having words.
It depends, isn't it? Whether or not the warrior cards are coming to you or you're forcing it. But we saw Liam do really well with Kasai in a sort of like Liverpool. He just drafted Kasai and that was it, made it into the final.
No, I mean, spoilers. He started getting some preparation in for the Pro Tour with us, yesterday. I think yesterday, a couple of days ago now, started getting back on the draft grind. And the first couple we did, Kasai again. I was just like, come on, man, you got to be able to draft something else.
Thing is, you go on Pro Tour, you're up on the top tables with the top dogs. You're just like,
he'll be winning with Kasai anyway. Don't worry about
it. Nice. Shall we see a gold foil? This is his third.
Oh, he's on camera again. Look at him
smiling.
Extra dosage of gold foils. Look at that hair, making me feel bad about my genetics.
We're gonna get a good one.
I mean, that's it. Yeah, we're gonna get a good one.
All right, is this better than an arcane lantern? Let's take a peek.
What if he gets double arcane lantern?
Imagine showing me the front of the envelope.
Oh my god, you've had so much fucking practice. Go away. And it is.
Flip it.
That's pretty good.
There we go. Slightly better than an arcane lantern that time. Nice one. Well done. Heart and cross strap.
Cross strap's pretty good.
Okay, right. So this was the big CC event of the weekend. I recorded this one. We are going to, when I get there, we're going to the Dice Cup in Nottingham. 29 players. Huge spread. Rob Catton was there. No Prism. Prism has been resigned back to the deck box. Prism is not come out to play really this week, but we have had a lot of draft.
In fairness, Rob did say he wanted a break after melting his brain, playing it during Liverpool. So maybe he's just keeping what mental energy he has for PTLA and playing something a little bit easier on the brain.
Yeah, relax a bit before you get to the big competition. I would say
exactly.
Dice Cup is a massive shop, it's sort of like 2 levels. It was absolutely heaving with players, and I can tell you their cafe was outstanding. It's a vegan one, sort of like, but the food that was coming out, people were having risottos. There was a chap that I saw having a jambalaya, and that piqued my interest straight away. And I was like, right, I'm going to go get that. A sticky toffee pudding and ice cream I had as well. I was just like, I was loving it. It was brilliant.
Yeah, I've never had the pleasure of making my way down to Dice Cup. Unfortunately, I'd like to at some point. But I have heard whispers of their cafe, and it's exactly what I want from my store when I open it up myself. I think there needs to be this more cafe environment, good food. People can stay for a whole day, have a decent meal, not just pump yourself full of cans of Monster and pot noodles, and I think it goes a very long way. And I mean, you can tell that it's working because you're here talking to me about it, and I'm telling you I've heard whispers. So it does some good.
It was brilliant. Thank you to everyone who took care of me down there. I was sitting in my corner recording, and then loads of people were like, "Do you want a drink, Barry? Do you need anything?" And I was just like, "So it's really nice. It's really nice that people are coming over." Right,
that old British hospitality that we're definitely known for worldwide.
That's right. Cup of tea, yeah, great, fantastic. So nice spread again. 15 different heroes. Viserys, Vinsets. Sort of like not many KOs. Only 2 KOs. Was quite a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, the deck is definitely very good, but it is also a pretty penny to put together if you didn't already have a lot of brute stuff. Trust me, I'm in the process of doing it, and it's a surprisingly expensive deck. So I'm not all that shocked to see not that many people move in if they're not sold on the fact they'll enjoy playing brute.
That's why me and Mike have a collection. So we just pretty much got a master set between us. It's just like, and now
must be nice.
Now we've got Mikey as well, so we're just increasing our whole collection pool of sort of like what you
got room for a 4th. It might do me a favour.
That's good. So awesome spread. New heroes come out to play as well, but who made it into the top 4? Let's see. Okay, Isaac Murray, RTN winner of 2023. Emil Walsh, he made it into the top 8 for the Battle Hardened in Liverpool, with Kano. Played last week at EH Gaming with Kano, and basically he just like, I don't know what was going on. There wasn't much aether in York, because basically he didn't get anywhere. Noah Hicks on his victory with Kano in Church of the D20 last week. He's now playing KO, and Jacob Clements on Dory, and he played Dory at Bad Moon last week. So he did a little bit better.
I know Jacob's a fan of his decimated great axes, so that makes a fair amount of sense. But if you want to talk about a testament here, there was 2 KOs in this room, and they're both here in the top 4. Now that's quite the statement.
Yeah, you can see a lot of the games with these guys, because I recorded. Isaac was on a couple of times, and so was Noah. It didn't always go their way. Sort of like, top decking is always fun,
isn't it? Just there's a certain poetry between playing your Bear Fangs and your Wild Rides, and I mean the top card of my deck is supposed to be a 6 mathematically most of the time. I've discarded my Cast Bones. Okay, I've lost 3 damage. It's a very, very fun and thematic experience, and those are the only words you're going to get out of me about it.
Righty, so let's see who made it into the final. So the final is Isaac Murray on KO versus Emil Walsh on Kano. And Emil beat Noah in the top 4. So he already beat a KO to get in there. Okay.
Indeed. So, unfortunately, I do know the result of this event. So you can't throw me off.
Okay.
Because I am in a Discord server with Emil. We were talking to them during the event. And Isaac has a very distinct plan into Kano. They came prepared for the deck, unlike everybody else. It turns out the little bit of extra spell void will help you out in how that matchup plays. And Isaac did indeed take down this final.
He did. He beat in the top 8. He beat George Douglas, who was sort of like he was ranked 2. Sort of like after Swiss, and he was absolutely on fire with Kano. He was so good, he was unreal. But both players that made it into this final were seeded 7th and 8th. So again, lower seed players are making it into the finals.
The Wunderkind, yes, it's definitely been a recurring theme recently that sneaking at the bottom of the bracket is your magic ticket to getting the job done.
Mm-hmm. All you got to do is get there. That's all you got to do.
I prefer my approach of not losing in Swiss than losing my quarterfinals and not qualifying. It's great. I love it.
It's all right. You'll get there. You'll get there, dude, one time. You're doing better than me.
I'll probably be fine. I think I'm probably going to qualify for nationals this year off ELO anyway, even if I can't get to enough events. But I'm going to try and take that event in Manchester. So stay tuned for Baz's episode in 2 weeks when somebody's going to have to guess if I did it. It might be me. Still.
Fanboy 3, here we go.
That's the one.
Right, so there's the confirmation. Isaac Murray wins Dice Cup Northampton. Well done, fella. Right, so gold foil time.
Let's take a peek.
Okay, so this is Isaac Murray's gold coil foil for winning the Nottingham
Yeah, this
Road
is
to
the most
Nationals
professional
event.
one I've seen so far. Everybody else has done it
Let's
without the
see
tripod
what we
off at a
get.
48-degree angle. Isaac here actually doing it
Exciting
top
times.
down. So that's the envelope. Like to see it. Let's take a peek. Or not.
Here we go.
Oh, we're not sure about the direction.
Did it show us the front straight away?
Yeah, double checking. There you go.
That's the back, right?
It's always fun. Some people know at this point. Some people want to like double check. They're not going to ruin the surprise.
Anathos.
Anathos.
Okay.
That's a flipping
That
good
feels
hit.
like it's been ripped off from one of the Guardians. That's that was supposed to be in somebody else's envelope.
That was supposed to be in Sweden, but
Yeah.
fantastic, Paul. Well done. Isaac didn't open it because he likes to open them sort of like with his dad, Chad. So
Makes sense.
So that's why they did it at home. But thank you for sending it in, Chad. That's awesome. Right, okay, so let's go on to the top 4 qualifying heroes and their sort of like percentages. Okay. So if you just want to qualify for nationals, this is sort of like your best bet so far. Kano, by far and far, is the best choice at the minute for qualifying for nationals. That may change over the next 2 weeks as people sort of like get their head round taking AB again. Viserai is slightly skewed. He's not very well. He's not taken
It's
really.
a small sample size, shall we
Yeah,
say?
indeed. And he's and basically this is Talio Molina from Sweden got this one. KO, he's taken a lot, but he's not. You know what I mean? He's not pushing big numbers to actually qualify.
No, it's an interesting one. I think people are not only still getting familiar with the deck somewhat, but we are seeing a lot of decks come out of the woodwork that are not necessarily bad matchups for KO, but they are not good ones either. KO is this typical mid-range deck in the way that it plays in a lot of matchups. So you're leveraging your play skill. You are sitting down and getting a lot of 50-50s more than you are, being the Kano into a Prism or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get as many free wins as you would do before. So naturally, if there's a lot of them in the room, they're going to hit each other, and someone's got to knock each other out. And there'll also just be those times where you have your 50% into dash and you don't draw your item removal. They block you out well, and you don't get there, and all these kind of matchups. So I think it's definitely a little bit of an underwhelming result. It's a shame to see KO doing so middle of the pack, but it's maybe to be expected somewhat as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot of people said Bravo was really strong into this meta, and his qualification percentage is really, really good. It was probably sort of like you would say he's the most consistent hero for getting into the top 4s at the minute.
Yeah, so it's definitely an argument to be playing Bravo at the minute. It's been an argument to be playing Bravo for a long old while, and apparently the entirety of Sweden agrees. So definitely pulls that rate up quite a bit.
Indeed. Right, let's get on to winning percentages. This is the winning percentage of all the games I've covered for CC. 29% Kano was one of them. Sort of like the Bravo, sort of like it's Sweden that's skewing it. There's no wins in the UK for Bravo yet, but like you said, sort of like up in Aria, they're doing really well.
They know how to win on camera in Aria, that's for sure.
Righty. Okay, so let's get on to the rest of the meta maps. We have Ireland. I changed it this time. I got it right. Stephen Manning. I'm so sorry I cocked it up last week, but you're on there now, mate. This is the UK, or the north of England, I should say. Scotland hasn't had theirs yet. We're waiting for Mox to pull out all the stops. So EH Gaming, which I covered last week. So if you haven't seen that tournament, go back on the channel, watch those games. They're fantastic. And Adam pulls off an awesome win versus George Jones.
Yeah, really sweet final that I will not let George forget anytime soon.
Ashcan won with Katsu in Patriot Games in Sheffield.
Who let him get away with that? I'll be having words.
There we go. Right in the middle of the UK, we've got a KO and a Kano. Sort of like kicking ass. sort of like taking names. That's where we are there. And just the Kasai, that's the drafted one with Samee Braben.
Kind of amazing, really. You can choose if you want to be good at Flesh and Blood right now. All you got to do is pick if you prefer the letter N or the letter Y, and just slot it in the same hero name and pick your flavor.
Thing is, it's so confusing to say sometimes. You're like, did I say the right hero with the right player? Yeah, I did. Brilliant.
I know there's been all kinds of conspiracy theories about people submitting the wrong hero for winning because there's no way Kano's that good. It's only one letter away. It's not hard to click the wrong one now, is it?
Well, if people took AB, it wouldn't be a thing.
No, maybe.
We got Samee again, sort of like standing lonesome, sort of like south of England. This will fill up in the next couple of weeks. Winning in Bristol with Kasai. And then we're going to go into London. There we go. Another Kano with Samee again. Oh, my God. He's won 3 of them. There we go. And there we got Thomas Harl on Betsy over sort of like on Darksphere over in Shepherd's Bush.
Brave souls. Look at all this wizard.
Indeed.
I never thought I'd be upset about that, and yet here we are.
Irish nationals have been confirmed as the 5th to the 7th of July. So week 1, we have these 4 that are qualified: Stephen, Jack, Connor, and Tig. And then for the UK ones, sort of like Samee's leading the pack on 3 wins, but we've also got Jacob, Jason, Rolf, and Noah that have qualified twice.
This is definitely a real testament here to the change in pricing for these RTNs. This is the first time we've had gold foils up for grabs at the very top of these things. And beforehand, there was definitely a lot more. Oh, you're not qualified for nationals yet? Oh, well, I'll concede to you in the top 8, and people that were already qualified letting their friends make the cut. And we're seeing a little bit less of that now that there's so much moolah up top, and you can see that in the recurring players that are going and playing all of these events.
But it was also said that because of the combined elo, they didn't. Originally, it was said the top players wouldn't go out and compete because they didn't want to lose any elo and then not qualify. But that's not what we're seeing. The top players are going out.
I think in the UK we have a unique situation. In the US, I don't like it. You should just go and play, enjoy the game. But I understand it's a lot more competitive. It's gonna be very easy to lose your elo. Over here, I mean, like I normally would be panicking about not being able to play as many RTNs as I'd like, but we've got 160 player nationals this year. It's for people that are in top 15 ELO, you'd have to jump off a bridge to not qualify for nationals by playing these things. So you might as well go out and try and win yourself some gold foils. I think there's a good chance you could start a brand new fresh gem account, play an RTN, and qualify for nationals this year. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, but we're also seeing, I'm seeing players qualify for nationals where I've got no record of them. Or, and they're going, I don't recognise their name. So sort of like, we've had a new influx of players, maybe through bright lights and obviously through heavy hitters. And, and they're coming out sort of like swinging and making it into the national straight away.
You love to see it, and that's definitely the case. There's been a huge uptick of players across, honestly, the world since heavy hitters especially. It's been a resounding success for the set. People are very excited, and it's cool to see all these names that I don't immediately know. It's great.
Indeed. And then I struggle over saying their name as well, and I'm really sorry. Right, but where have we got RTNs left to play in the UK island? So we are on sort of like 2nd of March is all draft, Income Gaming in Cheltenham and Rising Phoenix in Middlesbrough. So this is the hunting ground of Natasha Collins. Sort of like you may recognise that name. She does very well in Rising Phoenix, and her brother Adam, he won at Gaming. So can they keep the family name going? Gamers World in Dublin changed from the 24th. It's now on the 2nd of March.
Makes sense, yeah.
Dyson Destiny Canterbury, that's going to be a really good one. Sort of like, and Mana Screw, they're kind of like going to be sharing sort of like London players. So London players are either going to be going north or south to go to those ones. ProTech right at the north of England, and Skyward Fire Games right on the east coast. That's normally Rhinar country. So I would expect it to be very Brute Central over in Norfolk way. And then Fanboy 3, you're doing draft in Fanboy. Dice Saloon, Highlander Games in Dundee and venue in Plymouth. Sort of like the last week, the 9th and 10th of March, sort of like it's the double header really for Scotland players to secure their place. But you might see them coming down for ProTech. I would say, as a heads up, the last weekend, the meta report might be a little bit late. My birthday is actually on the 11th of March, and it's a biggie.
Ladies and gents, just priorities. Got to make sure.
It's a biggie. The grey hair's there for a reason. It's my 50th, so it was going to be slightly late, and I do apologise for that.
Over 30. I don't believe it. But, no, I'm sure you'll have a spectacular birthday, and I'm sure after I don't do very well at Fanboy, I'll make a ill-judged journey up to Mox in the Hole the following day. And see some people up there.
They've got. I've seen one of the prizes. What was it? A 9+ a 9+ Goliath gauntlet as a door prize.
Don't go telling me the prizes. That's going to be an awful journey if I choose to make it, and I am not above that.
But it's a fantastic prize.
Mox always pull it out. I just wish it wasn't quite so far away.
Right. Okay. So, lastly, Scott, thank you so much for popping on. It was a bit last minute. I just went, Scott, can you come on? And you're amazing, mate. Thank you so much.
Oh, I appreciate that. My favourite part of this is that I don't classify as part of the UK. This is great. We got Erica over in Sweden, all the UK group to help you out. I'm an entity of my own above the UK, and that's. I'm gonna take that to heart, and thank you very much.
You're global, mate. That's what you are.
I've been called other things, but I'll take global. Global's all right.
So thank you to Erica Fushlov from Sweden for all the information. She's been an absolute trooper covering the whole of Sweden for me. Thank you so much, Erica, and everything you do. Check out Fab Sweden on YouTube to catch up on those games. Dave at Darksphere.
Erica is putting out some of her own content too at the minute, which I'll give a quick plug. If you enjoy tournament reports and that kind of stuff from her Battle Hardened in Liverpool, she's putting out some good stuff. So go give her a chat as well.
Her thumbnails are awesome as well.
Oh, that could be for any reason. It's unclear who was hired to create those. It could have been anybody.
Could have been someone with howling talent. There we go. Dave from Darksphere, Ewan from Geek Retreat, James Adams, Choppio, Daniel Baxendale, and Jonathan Hicks from Dice Cup. Thank you for all the information. Absolutely fantastic. My patrons, I've had a little bit of an influx. It's been awesome. Thank you.
Look at that.
Andrew Rayner, Bolful, Mike Kerslake, Callum Dorling, Darren Burdock-Latter, and Ross Hewitt. Thank you so much for supporting me. The amount of subs that I've got last week, it's just been absolutely outstanding. I've been blown away by the support. So if you haven't subbed, sub.
Because you can do that. Or if you're watching from me, you can hop on Baz's Patreon for his birthday and give him a good birthday present to remember as well. So it's like buying a drink, but in the virtual way, and all the cool kids do that. So you should consider doing it.
Indeed, and you can take part in those 10% offers. Darren went to Thistle Tavern and he forgot to use his code, and I was just like, oh my god, dude!
Even to be fair, I sympathise because I have also given Thistle Tavern too much money at various points in my life, so I get it.
Yeah, Andrew Rain is a cracking guy. Thank you, Andrew. Right, dude, you're on. I always like it when you sign off.
Yeah, of course. I don't mind doing it. You know what I'm like for a crowd. But no, thank you very much for joining us for this episode of the Meta Report. It's been fantastic to have you. I have been Howling Minds. That has been Baz the Bard, and you have been amazing. But until next time, take care of yourselves and have a good one.
Bye-bye.